So one of the questions that I got, or variation of this, is, can you just do the same program forever? And this is obviously very relevant to what we were discussing. So Gary, can I just do the same program forever? Like, here, boom, I found this 4-day per week training program online. Can I just do it forever? Let's assume at least the variable that you're changing is you're getting stronger, you're using heavier weights. What's the story? Can I just do that?
I mean, yeah, you can, but there's probably barriers you're going to run into. One, you won't get your best results, but you don't need your best results. That's another thing. If you're training for health, you want to feel good, look good, and you just like showing up to the gym doing the same session without having to think about it too much, that is absolutely fine and more power to you, honestly. A lot of runners do that actually. You see people who like, oh, I just go for my 5K run 3 times a week. I don't even time it. I just run 5K. That's perfectly fine. If you're training for health, you want to feel good, look good, that's absolutely just perfect. Fire away. However, for most people, especially if you're trying to progress over time in strength and muscle, you will start to, have periods of slowing down in your rate of progress, but also there's almost always for everyone going to be some point where your elbows are going to start getting at you, or your shoulders will be at you, or you'll get some sort of niggle on that pain injury spectrum that will stop you from being able to push yourself. And for me, at least in my rehab programming, one of the primary variables that I start to change with people is variation in their exercise selection or variation in other training variables. So if you're following the same program all the time, my assumption is you're doing the same exercises, same rep ranges, same number of sets, etc. Whereas to kind of minimize the risk of injury and also to get over those periods of injury, typically variation would be a requirement, or at least a very strong recommendation. So I don't think you'd be getting optimal outcomes by sticking to the same program your life, all of your life, and certainly not your best adaptations, because there will come a point where that level of volume is simply not enough for you to continue progressing. Again, you mightn't want to continue progressing, and that's fine. But if you do, you probably will need to make some changes over time.
100%. I agree with you. We did an entire podcast as well on this in terms of like periodization, etc., and also just progressions. But it just makes sense that, like they always say, the best program is the program that you're not currently doing. So a bit of variety does make a lot of sense, both in terms of the exercises you're doing, both in terms of the different variables. So if you're literally just doing, I do 3 sets of 10 and I try to increase the weight whenever, like you're going to be able to do that for a while, but there's going to come a point where either injury gets you, or little niggles, or you're just plain fucking bored, or finally you're just not really seeing a huge amount of progress from that. You're kind of just maintaining what you've built, which again, perfectly fine. Like, I know people that go in and they're just like, yeah, I do my 3 sets of 10 on the bench press and I use 100 kilos and I just, that's all I do. I never try to increase it. I just do my work. Fine. I know how long my workout takes. I'm done. I'm not looking for crazy progress. But if you're just doing the exact same workout forever and looking to progress, like, you're probably not going to get optimal progress.